Hi everyone, this is Wolf Branch Homestead. Today we're just taking a moment to show you some of the crafts that we have. Etsy has been a big channel for us to kind of sell things as a source of passive income, and we occasionally do craft shows, and we had a booth at one location, but it just didn't work out because of the fact that they were low traffic and only open one day of the week, unfortunately. And so we have a lot of things put up and things maybe you haven't seen us talk about before that are on Etsy, and things that we have that aren't on there yet. Just to kind of show you, and maybe looking at it, you might just enjoy seeing some of the things and kind of hearing the stories behind them, or maybe you'll be inspired by them, which is wonderful. But if it's something you're interested in, then we'll put a link in the description below, not only to Etsy, but also email if you're interested, or if you want to comment if there's something you're actually interested in. We try to keep it very affordable, very accessible, and then we just put shipping factored in there. A lot of this it started years ago when we first kind of started the homestead. I had done small things before, but I just wanted to channel my energy and my creativity into small little projects, a lot of it being responsibly sourced material, and to share it with people. But I've been pleasantly surprised over the years by how many people have given these pieces of art, these crafts, new homes, and we're hoping maybe to find some new homes for these pieces here as well. That way we can open up space to start making new things and to get ready for the fall when we start tanning on a bigger scale, and just to give us that space to make and share more things. Handmade art can be such a wonderful gift to share with somebody or even keep for yourself. But when you share it, then you're showing that you care about the person you're giving that gift to, because it's handmade, it's unique. And especially when it's something like this, I mean, this is just a little sign that we had at our booth, but when you can tell that something's been handmade, hand painted, handcrafted, there's something so special about that, because you're showing somebody that you care enough about them to give them this special gift. It's not just something you've bought at a box store. It's not something you just ordered offline that's a bulk made thing that's all the same. It's different, it's special because of that. And not only are you gifting it to someone to show them you care, or you're maybe getting it for yourself just to treat yourself and have it at home and do something with it, but you're also supporting the person behind that. So while, yes, it does help us passively support ourselves, remember that anything you give that's been handmade by somebody, I'm not talking about just us, I'm saying from any aspect, if you support somebody on a small scale that does crafts like these and you give that to somebody, not only are you showing you care through that gift or through that thing that you're decorating your home with, maybe it's something you're keeping for yourself, that you're going to open up that line of conversation about maybe how that piece was made or what's so special about it. But you're also supporting the person, the individual, or the small shop that has made these pieces. And you're not only helping to support them financially in a way, but you're also inspiring them to keep doing what they're doing, especially when it's things that have been responsibly sourced or recycled, repurposed, things like that. You're really giving them the motivation to continue doing what they're doing. And a simple good review to somebody or a kind word about their product, even if it's something that you haven't purchased or don't really plan to yet, if you just give them a kind word about the things that they've made, you never know how much that can mean to somebody. So we hope that you'll enjoy looking through some of our crafts with us. And even if it's not something that you're interested in, maybe you'll just enjoy looking at the different pieces that we've made over time, and maybe you'll be inspired. Maybe it'll encourage you to reach out to another small business, a small crafter individually, and consider something like that as a gift this year for somebody you care about. And we hope you'll enjoy watching along with us and seeing some of these pieces. And we appreciate you for being with us, not only just as viewers, but also subscribers, because as you may or may not be aware, with the ways YouTube works for monetization, we're a small channel, and I don't think it'll ever really grow past that point. So we're not monetized currently, and we probably won't be through ad revenue and things like that. So this is just a small way that we support ourselves on the side and kind of share what we do with you all. And again, hopefully you'll enjoy watching and seeing what we have available. Hi everyone, this is Wolf Ranch Homestead. We're in the little craft room here, and we're going to show you some of the things that we have, little handmade art projects. Some of these are on Etsy and some are not. So if you're interested in anything, just comment and let us know, or we'll put the email address in the description so you can see that, and we'll also put information about pricing. So just, it would be factored in with shipping, or if you order a bunch of things, then we wouldn't worry about shipping. We just bundle everything together. But there's a lot of things that are on Etsy, so if you see something that you're interested in, check the Etsy shop. We'll also put a coupon code in the description below to go to Etsy. And remember, this is just, it's little passive things that help support us in a small way, and we appreciate it because it just kind of started off for me as a way to express creativity and to kind of relax. If I was ever having a bad day or something like that, I would go down there and go paint. Right now I don't have a lot of storage to make anything new, so this is a lot of the older things that I have, things that have been in different craft shows and maybe didn't sell. We had a booth at one place, but they were only open on Saturdays, so it didn't really do well. But a lot of the time I don't try to price anything high. Etsy, I usually have it a little bit higher just to cover fees and things like that. But if you're interested in something, just let us know. And like I said, we'll put the email address where you can contact us if you're interested in something. And we usually can do everything through PayPal, or if it goes through Etsy, then it goes through there. But we're going to show you some of this up close. This is repurposed pallet, and we painted it and put some C-hooks on it where you can make it into a key holder. And I can't remember if I have a mount on the back of this or not. No, but you can put like a little wire hanger on there, or you can just prop it up, however you want to do it. Even put trinkets from places that you've been, just to, kind of display it in your home. These are on Etsy. These are oak gift tags. We cut some oak with the sawmill and had some scrap wood left, and I said, hey, why don't we make something with this? And my husband helped me cut these up, and we made gift tags with them. It's a really pretty, unique way to give a gift to somebody, and it's also a keepsake in itself. You can use the to and from section on the back to paint on there whatever names that you'd like with a fine brush. And it comes as a set, so you have a little bit for every different occasion. It may be a little hard to see, but it's showing up pretty well. So this small kind of square shaped rock has a really interesting lighthouse kind of painted on it. Most people probably won't be familiar with this, but it's an area that I really love in Pensacola, Florida. On the NAS base, across from where the Naval Air Museum is this really beautiful lighthouse that you can actually climb to the top of, and you can look out over the water, and it's just an incredible view. And when the Blue Angels practice, since this is their home base, if you ever catch them practicing, you can go to the top of the lighthouse and see it, and it's just really incredible. So this little stone is a rock from the area, and it's got the lighthouse painted on it. It's just a really interesting little keepsake. Also on Etsy, we have these little buckskin stockings. Willing to take less for these. It's handmade buckskin, but it's not, the way they're made is not necessarily practical. They're pretty much just displays, but you could put anything non-perishable or something that you're not worried about getting messed up, like if it's already wrapped in something, you could put it down in here, and it's really neat. It also comes with a little miniature one that you can put on your tree if you'd like. We have some other buckskin. I didn't think I had any more pieces, but I actually have two. And I'm willing to do 50 on those. I'll put all that in the description like I said, but I've got two pieces that I didn't know I had put up still, these were taken from deer processors, and we tanned them, did the whole process ourselves from green hide into this, and Again, we're just looking to clean inventory and make more room for some of the stuff that we've got coming this fall. We're going to start over fresh with all of our deer hides that we pick up, all the unwanted deer hides, and we look forward to sharing those with you. But this is the absolute last buckskin that I have left, tanned about 2 years ago. And speaking of that, we've got these two little bracelets. They're lightly burned on with the designs and kind of traced in pen, and they have a fox and then like a little scene with deer, and they were made of the same material. We also have the handmade bone needles. Another thing we pick up from the processors that's normally a waste product is the deer legs, and we were really surprised that in the June-July 2020 issue of Mother Earth News, this was actually published in there, and I was really proud of this, and we got to show people how to make these. There's different ways you can go about it, but if you're not interested in making it for yourself, then consider purchasing one from us, and like I said, just helping us a little bit, supporting us. These are one of the better sellers on Etsy that we have, and there are a few here that aren't actually on Etsy. So if you're interested in a specific length or width, just let us know, but we've got quite a few of them here. They are really unique because they do come from the deer leg, but you can use them for all sorts of things. It started off as just a project to try to find a way to sew a deer hide quiver for my husband. And kind of the backstory of that is we were going and picking up some of the first round of hides I ever tanned, and I had a scrap one, and I wanted to do something with it. So I said, okay, well, I'll make a little quiver for my husband's arrows for his recurve bow. And I went to use a leather needle. I had already punched a beginning hole with an awl, but it wasn't quite wide enough for what I wanted to go through it. So I tried to use a leather needle, but because it was so thick with the hair on, it just wouldn't go through it, and it actually bent. So I was like thinking to myself about being a kid at my grandmother's, and I found this little piece of bone, and I took it on a concrete pad behind the barn, and I just played with it and scraped it, and I was like, that actually kind of made it take shape. And I thought back to that time, and I had a piece of sandstone, and I started scratching the little shard of the deer leg bone on there, and it came into being a needle, and it actually worked so well that I was like, hey, I want to share this with people. And that's kind of where these originated at, and a lot of people have used them for whether it be practical purposes or just display. We're really happy to share those. Over here, speaking of buckskin, we have the Buckkin Ponies. We have a video, it's an older video, of these little guys together. We had just made this one, the plain one, and showed where we were making the other one, the medicine hat pony. It was one of my favorite patterns on a horse is a medicine hat, just because of the significance behind them. And so that's how I wanted to paint this one. And they are really good for little displays, and it's so precious. It was really fun to make these, and to know that we took the deer hide that was just going to be thrown away and turned it all the way to this point is just really special. We've got over here a little simple wind chime. Let's see if I can get it to chime. There we go. This is a scrap piece of wood from the sawmill and some fishing line. We've got some bamboo that grows out here. We cut it every so often and make things with it, and a little piece of pine wood, and it makes a really neat chime. Oh, now you don't want to do it. Let's see. But that's a really interesting little thing. That's just a handmade wind chime, essentially. Down here, we have the painted chainsaw bar. I never really saw anybody do this before. I had seen some people do it with the rounded saw blades, but I hadn't really seen one with a chainsaw bar. A lot of people save them, but you know, basically to reuse them. But when they get to a point where they can't be used anymore, then I started taking these and painting them. And I kept one for my husband and I that I painted that looks like we're both standing under a big pine tree, and that was really special. That was the first one I did. And then after that, I did one of the Kaimolga grist mill in Childersburg, but again, that one I was like, well, I kind of like this one a lot, so I was going to keep it. And this is the only other one that I made besides those two. And this one is for sale. I think it's still on Etsy, but this is called Fall on the Farm. And essentially, it's a little pumpkin field with some trees, some of the fall colors, the barn, the old tractor, the old house, and it's got, you can hardly see it on here, but there's like a little bit of smoke coming from the house, like they just started burning firewood, the cornfield, the hay bales, and all the pretty fall colors. And that's what I think about when I think fall. I just think of a really beautiful farm wrapping up for the year and all the crops getting finished up. And I had to, of course, put a tractor that looked like a older antique tractor on there. This is a smaller chainsaw bar. It came off of my personal smaller Echo chainsaw. And the back of it, let's see. Yeah, the back of it you can see where I put the date and signed it and everything. And you can see how much it's been through. We use these chainsaw bars on our chainsaws for clearing land, and also when we're cutting up things for the cabin, for the sawmill. So this most likely was a bar that I used for cleaning up small brush and processing small firewood. But when they get, like I said, to the point where we can't really use them anymore, then that's what I do, is I just paint these. So here we've got some small necklaces. This is just a small piece of wood burned branch, basically, like a little small brown piece of wood that has beads on it, and it's got a little strap that's made of artificial sinew. Then we have the two that have the deer hooves on them. Again, with getting and trying to responsibly source and repurpose different things from the processors, we remove the hooves, and people have ordered just the hooves for different crafts. People use them as rattles, things like that, and we took them and got a matching set and made them as necklaces. They have beads, but they also have the little wooden beads, and what these are little pieces of pine that naturally lose the outer bark, and they're really smooth, and I took and cut them and drilled small holes through them to make them into little beads, essentially. So these two necklaces also have the artificial sinew on them as well. One of my favorite things are the ornaments. We make little wood slice ornaments each year, and these are made out of poplar, small poplar saplings. Some of them have the years on them from when they were made, so some are 2018, 2017, 2019. But we also have different animal breeds, and if you see one that you're interested in that we don't have on here, let us know, and we can either do a little painting or a silhouette and kind of make it like this. But we've got horse-wise, we have quarter horse, Clydesdale, and over here is Arabian. We have Texas Longhorn cattle, a few chicken breeds, so we have the Brahma, the Rhode Island Red, there are Polish, Australorp, we have Chihuahua, some that have paw prints on them. There's a few different things, but we have a lot of these little wood slice ornaments, and we can make some if you're interested in them. I have a lot of these little wood pieces put up, and I've made little custom ornaments for people before, whether they wanted them painted or wood burned, what have you. Again, with everything, try to be really affordable with it and make it accessible to everybody. Art shouldn't have to be expensive, so we try to work with everybody price-wise, and when it comes to shipping, you know, we just factor that in through the USPS website. We just calculate based on the shipping distance and also the weight and size of the packaging. So we'll let you know if you're interested in something how much that would be by calculating it up for your area. And again, if you get multiple things, then we can bundle it all together and make it a lot more affordable. But again, this is just some of the things. I'm going to go through some of the other boxes and see what else I have left. So I have these 2 bags, and honestly I'd be hesitant to let them go. But with everything, like I said, I'm trying to make room, and I don't really use these. So this is the first Buckskin deer leather bag that I ever made. The strapping is not even because it was just hand cut. I tried to measure it out and cut it by hand with scissors, so it's not even, but it's still got a small strap on it, and it has a button that is made from a deer leg on there. This one's a lot better. This one is really well done on the sides, and I braided the strap for it with my lace cutter. I cut some buckskin and wove it together basically to make the strap for it, and it has an actual antler button. The top out there's a little bit of a black smudge to the side, and it was basically just where I put WB for Wolf Branch on there, but over time it kind of faded away. And again, I think I might have used this one or 2 times, and the other one I had never used, but I just wanted to make something neat with it, and these are the only 2 that I've made out of the actual deer leather. We've made the raccoon fur bags before, but I haven't had any of these that I've actually offered for sale. And again, you know, I was kind of considering keeping them, but if somebody would be interested in them, then just let us know. You know, maybe what you'd offer on something like that. I don't really have anything in mind, but I'm just sharing them in case anybody might be interested. With this, the inside is not lined. It is also just the underside of the deer leather. So anything perishable or anything food-wise should not go in here. It's basically just like a survival bag. And I carried like little booklets around in it one time, I think. And information for one of the craft shows, I think, is where I took it to. So again, if you're interested in something like that, then just let us know. But I'm putting them out there in case anybody might. So here we've got some old feed bags that we repurposed into little reusable bags. We've got the chicken scratch grain, the bird seed, and the dog food bags. And I'm not asking a lot for these just because of the fact that they're hand stitched, hand sewn together. The sides are inverted, so all the stitching is on the inside. But with these, like I said, a lot of people do these and use sewing machines, but I didn't have one, so I did them by hand. But they're great to just take to the store with you if you're picking up a few small things, and, you know, put it in there instead of getting a plastic bag, and maybe makes a great conversation piece about repurposing things. So we have a few of these. They're made from rough cut black walnut wood, and you can see a little bit on there where they had been planed. It's basically the offcuts from some planed black walnut that we used for the cabin, and we milled this on the sawmill and put them together into little crosses, and they're kind of that rustic, simple look where it's nothing fancy. It's just really special on its own because of how simplistic it is, and hopefully somebody might be interested in this. And a lot of people will take them and put them in the entryway to a house or something like that, or hang them up. They don't have a hanger on the back of them, but you could really easily put a sawtooth hanger and mount it on the wall. And we've got a few of these. Here are 3 little painted signs. The fall one and the spring one were made from pallet wood, and up top was an offcut from store lumber, and we have 2 that are spring and then 1 that is fall, with a blue and black kind of tone with gold. The spring colors and they're really simple. But the fall ones, usually around that time, they're really good at the craft shows, because that's about the time we start going to all the shows, and people really enjoy the little painted pallet pieces with the, usually I have a piece of rope or cord essentially going through there where I've got the holes at, where you can hang those up. And this one, because of how thick it is, it'll just stand up on its own. I've been amazed over the years how well the Pallet Crosses have done when we go to our craft festivals in October. This is one of the most sold items, and I have a few of them left. We had them at the booth for a while, but didn't do too great again. And we also had some on Etsy. I can't recall which ones are still on Etsy, but some of these may not be. So these are made from pallets that we get from businesses that are just throwing them away essentially. So instead of them being trashed or burned, we take the pallets and cut them up and put them together into these hand painted crosses. Some of them are wood burned, but mostly they're going to be painted. And again, it's just about taking something so simple and turning it into something really beautiful that you can share with other people, that also is an outlet for creativity. So I know that it's not fancy artwork, it's not perfection, I would say, but for me, again, I enjoy having it as an outlet. And if one other person really enjoys it, well, that brings me extra joy for making these. And again, I've been really pleasantly surprised by how they do at the craft shows. Usually these and the walking sticks are the best things. I don't have the walking sticks in here, but I have, I think, 2 of them on Etsy. And we also make more when we clear little areas out in the woods. Usually we'll cut the saplings and I'll save those and make walking sticks with them. So even if you see the ones that we have on there, if you're interested in something else, then let us know. Again, it's just simple walking sticks. Sometimes I will take and whittle around the bark and leave just the bark as a handle, and then the rest of it has been stripped off. But they're really neat. I enjoy making those, and I've been making walking sticks like that since I was a kid. We thank you for watching and tuning in to see some of the crafts we have available, and hope that you have a wonderful day. And again, we just appreciate you following along with us. And even if it's not something you're interested in, well, maybe it will inspire you. Maybe you'll be encouraged to make a gift for somebody this year, or to support another small crafter in what they do, and to gift that to somebody, or even spoil yourself with it and keep it for your home, and open up that conversation with somebody that comes to visit about how special that craft is. We hope you have a wonderful day, and again, as always, thank you for following along with us.